88th Purjangers and Wallhangers Media Network presentation, gang. And, of course, the only podcast to burn brighter than cardboard with gasoline. We are the Triforce Podcast, of course. And I am your host, Matthew Bugrell, the Mat Man. In the Purjanger box, we have one Christopher Bristow, the old man. Our omnipotent presence that is Stephen Bugrell, big brother. And, of course, our hero of time, mascot, Link Diablo. We also may be seeing, if he gets off the pooper, our buddy, our Iron Kelly, joining the podcast. And, of course, we join here for the same reason every single week. Tonight.
Take over the world.
No, Pinky. Tonight, the most accurate casting in the world. Same look, different Master Chief. Crisis 4 is coming before Half-Life 3 and so much more on the Triforce Podcast. And, of course, we always want you to go over here to pjandwh.com where you're going to find all the crazy and luggy and nutty moments right up top. Soon after this podcast, you'll find 00 Balky fighting with forklifts, as well as last week's Lugnuts podcast. Mazda's Emerald Green Hybrid Theory. And, of course, you hop over to the second tab. Sunday through Friday, you're going to see Big Brother and myself streaming on Walljanger Gaming. You can find those tabs right there and clickety-click, click, click. And Sunday, this week, Saturday and Sunday, just to let you know, BT Dubs, you'll find me streaming The Old Republic as we gear up for the new expansion, Legacy of the Sith, which is going to be hitting here in February. Luminous Tater joining us. I finally joined after so long. Reunited, and it feels so good. So you'll find me on Saturday and Sunday this week streaming on Old Republic. You'll find Big Brother Monday through Friday streaming Skyrim right now. Still in the Thieves Guild?
Yep. Just about to finish that up. Go to the Eyes of the Thalmor.
Dry eyes. Clear eyes for dry eyes of Thalmor. That sounds like a Skyrim commercial that needs to be done.
What do you need?
You need clear eyes. I love that. Print it. That's a commercial right there.
Yep, we got it. Signed, sealed, delivered, man.
Do you have a Purjanger commercial? That may be a thing. Pop your idea right here in the contact bus on the Contact Us page. Find us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, and TikTok. We're everywhere. Like gonorrhea. Probably more positive than that. Like this first story.
And less painful.
Yeah, man. I hope this first story is a lot less painful. Because we have
got a Kelly, an actual Kelly.
We have our
joining us for our first
long
story.
Lost brother in podcasting has finally joined us again. The one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, our Iron Kelly Collins, joining the Triforce Podcast once again, sir. Welcome, welcome. And then he's gone. No, you got some like green screen or some shit going on there.
That's cool.
I don't know what that. Oh, you got your little mixing board, and you're completely mute, by the way.
I know I had my wrong. I don't know what that green screen is.
Okay, Zoran.
I don't have a green screen behind me today.
Give me teenagers with attitude and mixing boards.
Okay.
And what's she doing?
There.
Oh,
This one there.
Is Max Headroom there? Do you know Max Headroom? Does anyone get that reference?
Yeah, I did.
Am I the only
I
one?
understood that reference. I understood the assignment.
All right, there we go.
There you go. He read the homework. So Star Trek Picard creator wants an anthology series with classic characters. So showrunner Akiva Goldsman has stated that he wants to see a new Star Trek anthology series exploring classic characters from the franchise's history. Star Wars is one of TV and film's longest-running franchises, with Star Trek, the original series, the first appearing on screens in 1966 before the first moon landing. The series ran for 3 seasons before it was canceled due to low ratings. People don't know what the fuck they actually need. However, the original series, which followed the adventures of the now iconic Captain Kirk, Spock, McCoy, and others, gained popularity while in broadcast syndication. Renewed interest in the series led to the creation of Star Trek TNG, and the Star Trek has occupied a permanent space in TV and cinema since then.
Definitely.
In an interview with SFX magazine, Goldsman has shared his new idea for a Star Trek anthology series called Tales of the Federation, where you would do one-offs. So you could bring back George Takei for 1 hour and see an old Sulu show and find Jonathan Archer, having now retired from the Enterprise, being on Earth, just to do these certain really interesting premises. And I really like that idea. He said you could grab anybody from all shows because it's really hard to find enough for a series, but there are endless amounts of episodes as anthology series are finding their way back. There were sort of a staple when I was a boy, and Star Trek-based ones of those I think would be super fun. I am 100% behind this because you could even take this as an episode about Q. How fucking amazing would that be?
That would be awesome.
You could do anything with
I
that.
would love to see the origin story of Q.
Guinan?
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there are these people in here. You could do an episode just off of one person, and you follow them, and then it just turns out, well, they were just meant for the Borg. And that turned into be the Borg Queen. Or, you know what I mean? Like, having these really interesting one-off anthology ideas for a Star Trek show, I think is, if it's done right like that, that is the perfect idea. Yep. Who would you want to see? Like, mine's Q and Guinan.
I'd like to see Spock. Is he out?
You know what? You could bring back, what's-his-face from Heroes.
Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty.
Ooh,
Zachary Quinto.
Zachary Quinto. You could bring him back as Spock, and the Spock.
Bring him back
Spock.
as Cock.
Spock.
He's gonna come back as a new character called Cock.
The Cock
I see what you
Spock.
did
That
there with the
explains why
comeback.
he looks different. He's got one eye.
He said come
Spits
back
out of
and
it.
cock in the same sentence.
There we go. That's the kind of humor we're at. But one thing that audiences will want to avoid is the cameos for cameos' sake, which I kind of feel like this series could do, is just kind of like a, here's this guy, you know? But I would love to see like a Geordie LaForge.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Or Data.
Yeah. Before he got disassembled.
Or after, how he gets undisassembled.
What about lore? That'd be the more interesting one. Honestly, if we're looking at it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You just pick a point in lore's life, and then there you go.
What was
That's a show.
Captain Sisko's kid?
Oh, man, you could even
Ned?
do anybody from fucking Deep Space Nine or Voyager.
Yeah,
Dude, you
go
can
with
pick
Ned.
anybody.
How about Wesley Crusher's journey after?
When he becomes a traveler?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be fucking dope.
What about Georgia LaForge?
Yeah,
You
he'd
like
be
his
awesome.
character?
Jordy? Yeah.
Engineer, he'd be like a captain engineer.
Really boring show. He'd teach you a lot, though. He'd show you a lot.
A
He
lot
reti-
of reading.
He retires
A lot
to
of reading.
He just retires to Starfleet University, trains the next generation. See where you go there? That's full circle right there. TNG. But
Reading Rainbow.
give me William Riker
Yeah.
or Donna Troy. Like any of these original ones from TNG, but I would love to see Cisco. I want to see where that motherfucker is because he was suave as a fucking Well, I mean, captain, but commander, you know.
Captain Archer.
Yeah. I want to see where he ended up.
Yeah, make it all timey-wimey.
You know where he ended up? At the Harry
Because
Donut.
in his storyline,
On
he
Tuesdays.
was always traveling through time. Have him travel through time some. That'd be awesome.
That'd be like
Give
Quantum
me the
Leap with
creation
extra
of
steps.
the Borg.
Oh, yeah, the Borg. I love the
Give
Borg.
me the creation of the Borg. Like, give me that.
That would be really great, man.
Because you could span that over 5 seasons.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would be great, man. You could really
And where
play
they
with
end
that.
up, where they end up is right when they meet the Enterprise from TNG, and that's the finale.
You know what, though? I got one better than that.
Ooh.
Chris, right into those producers now.
You probably know where I'm going. Daniel, the time traveler from Enterprise.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Give
I was
me
going in a different
that
direction.
one. Give me that guy's fucking hour.
Anytime a show has time travel, there's so much you can do with it.
Oh, yeah. Or we could also
Change
look at-
things. Oh, we
Yeah.
fucked that up. Let's go back and change it.
Retcon.
Or the
Like Marvel series or the Marvel series could have used that.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You could
We'll
bring
have
up
to
the
see.
Kardashians.
Wolverine series could have definitely used that.
Hey, give me a Kardashian show.
Yeah, a Kardashian.
You know what? Nobody has ever done a Kardashians show.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna be like that news guy.
We could
that
call
was
it
like, I'm done.
the
I'm not done.
Kardashians.
You're talking
Hang
about
on.
Kardashians.
Hang on. We can do one better. Keeping up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, yeah,
Through the
totally.
wormhole we go.
I'm telling you, I think
Nice.
Keeping Up with the Kardashians has a lot of legs because that's a completely different show.
The leak tape is backdoor wormhole.
There we go. And we have a
Jesus,
project.
how many of these innuendos are we going already?
And that's only story 1.
Did you miss me or what?
Oh,
We
yeah.
did. We did.
Always.
But something else I almost missed was this next story. Because blink or fart and you would have missed it.
Oh,
Not lug nuts.
right. The other one.
Different show. There we go. Arnold Schwarzenegger teases a role of Zeus, but it might just be a Super Bowl ad. Here we see our Zeus, which
That would be awesome.
the most perfect casting ever. Who else but Arnold Schwarzenegger to play Zeus?
I'd like.
The man can't keep his dick in his pants as Arnold, let alone
Harrison
playing
Ford.
a guy who literally can't keep his dick in his pants. He's turned himself into a swan just to get some pussy.
I'd like him to do a proper Greek accent.
What are you talking about? This is Greek.
Dude, he's been in America for like 60 years and still can't have like any kind of.
We are
he
right
can't even
next to
speak
each
English
other.
right.
This is
That's
close
because of when
enough.
He learned the English language.
He's not a tumor.
Because he learned it after the age of 12.
That was hilarious.
Yes,
Good shot in the background.
yes. But also,
Yeah, she's
I
back there.
Close to it. You can't
the rumor that I really liked about this Arnold casting is, yes, it's probably just a Super Bowl commercial because we saw Big Lebowski. What's his face?
Jeff Bridges.
Yes, Jeff Bridges saying back in
Wave to the
2019 that he would replay his character of the dude. One Punch. And that, like, with him playing the dude was awesome. But it was just for a Super Bowl ad. And everybody got their hopes up for just like another Big Lebowski, and then no. So I want to say that before I say the rumor, to where the rumor is that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson went out on Twitter and said that he was going to be working on his next movie is going to be the best, or like one of the biggest video game franchises that is out there and that he has played for a long time. So with this post, people are hoping to see Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Kratos in a live-action God of War movie with Arnold
Would love to see
Schwarzenegger
that.
as Zeus. How fucking awesome would that be?
That'd be cool.
Who did you say would play Kratos?
The Rock.
The Brahma Bull.
I
No?
can see
Who
The
do you
Rock
want?
being Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War.
Yeah. I can see Gears.
I like that one, Chris.
I immediately saw Gears of War because he said it was like an iconic, which God of War is iconic. That's why I picked this article, because after they said it, it makes sense that Arnold would just do like a one-off Super Bowl commercial to really, just kind of, upset the internet. Like, oh my God, a good Greek mythology movie would be awesome. Meanwhile, Percy Jackson.
He would make a
harping
good
on
Barrett from
Jimmy.
Final Fantasy VII.
But it's one of those things to where if
Nah,
you're
I'd like
looking
the guy
at it,
from Luke Cage.
yeah. If you're looking at it, I like The Rock for Marcus Phoenix. And I like that idea as a Gears of War movie because Gears of War is
He
such
would actually be
a
Cold
good
Train.
premise.
He would be Cold Train, baby.
The Cold Train. You gotta say it right, man. But Gears of War is perfect for that. For this, I would like to see Arnold as seriously a philandering god. Because he already played that well with his maid.
Hey, Charlie wants to tell you guys something. Go ahead,
Oh, okay.
sing it.
Twinkle, twinkle, little stars, how I wonder what you are. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Yay!
Okay, on with the show.
So, Zeus, we'll have to see if this turns out into something different. There was another actor that teased out Poseidon.
This warm moment has been brought to you by Philandering Gods. Get yours today.
That was honestly the most oddly placed Twinkle Twinkle Little Star I have ever heard.
Are you?
We're talking about the
How
Greek
dare
gods
you.
and how they twinkle.
I just
So
said
am I. Following
to do
along.
that. She was very nervous.
I,
She has no
I am
twinkle,
very
baby.
proud of
Apparently,
her.
She was so nervous that her head's gone.
I know.
Ah!
And I am so very proud of her, but
You went
In
back
between-
in time. She's fading into nothingness.
in between me saying that Arnold
like an episode
Schwarzenegger
of
is
Back to the
perfect
Future.
for the role of Zeus because he couldn't keep his dick in his pants is not the perfect time to say twinkle, twinkle, little star. It's a little bit odd placement wise. If I were to structure it, probably would have let off with that.
Well, we'll just fix it in editing.
We'll fix
You'll
it.
just see everybody go like.
We'll fix it in post, and we'll have to see.
I think we have our TikTok though.
Yeah, we do. But we'll have to see if this is going to be fixed in post or if it's just going to be a Super Bowl ad for the big game. But something else that is going to be big, this next story.
That was a good segue.
Thank you, Connor. Because James Gunn, not Kevin's Gunn.
What about Lush?
Sure.
Dad.
Confirms Guardians of the
Listen,
Galaxy 3 is the end for the team. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 director James Gunn has once again gone on record saying that the third installment in his trilogy will be the last time audiences will see the familiar team together. Gunn's first made his
Thanks
mark.
for ruining it, the ending for us, asshole.
He's letting you know what you're getting into. I mean, it is a trilogy, and it's number 3, so, you know.
Still, I wanted to be surprised. Just like the release date, we'll all be surprised when they push it back.
You sure that's
Push it
that's
back.
right with Comic Core math?
Way back.
So you don't think that they would like somehow implement that team into like a multiverse? Like,
Now, here's the thing.
That'd be nice.
They are going to keep going with the Guardians. You're not going to see all the Guardians vanish after this movie. It's this original team of Guardians. Last time you're going to see them all on screen.
Just
Now,
the raccoon.
we're probably going to see William Coulter as Adam Warlock. He's probably going to be in the Guardians. You know, that's not to say like maybe Peter Quill. Who knows if he wants to stay in? You know what I mean? He is the leader of the team. So I kind of imagine you'd have to take him out. But that all depends on what Chris Pratt wants to do. You know, ultimately, the MCU determines, the story determines, like, the actor, you know, as opposed to when you look at the comic universe, as to, you could, you know, kill off and revive the same character 20 times. As long as, you know, the fans like it, you're going to keep doing it. So it's one of those things to where it's smart for them to stay at 3, cap it off. You have the perfect story. Now, if you want to bring them back into where, like Kelly's saying, to where like a multiversal theme, to where you get these characters coming back again, to where there's that rumor of like Chris Evans coming back in.
Yeah, you have Isn't Adam Warlock also an X-Men though? So couldn't you kind of link X-Men with that?
Sure.
There is that kind of, well, Adam Warlock is cosmic. He's not really a mutant. He was engineered.
He just likes to hang around.
I know, but I thought he was in one of the X-Men movies. Or is that just Warlock?
Warlock. That's a different guy. Yeah.
All together.
Yeah. But X-Men are being teased with this next phase 4, because with Guardians and, you know, all this, they have to tease in a lot of different characters, to where I think with Guardians, we're going to get Adam Warlock. We're going to get a lot more, maybe Nova Corps. Maybe we may actually see Nova in this movie. But James Gunn's saying it's going to be dark. It's not going to be light and fluffy like the snow. It's going to be dark, and, you know, he's going there. While speaking to Deadline's Hero Nation podcast to discuss his HBO Max series Peacemaker, which is the #1 watch show in America, which is, there, I just said that. Gunn said that the third Guardians film will surprise fans, calling it big and dark, giggity. When pressed on what the future holds for the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, Volume 3, Gunn said viewers should expect a new lineup for the team, insisting the third chapter will be the last time the original crew is seen together. So we'll have to see. He's making it a bit scary. They're saying that, you know, Doctor Strange is going a bit scary, so they're adding in more of that fear element into the movies and shows going forward, which is
You're
a nice
saying
sign.
Nova might be in it?
I mean, who knows, man? They already have the Nova Corps, which they kind of made to be dopey police, but I'll take it.
Are they taking Ryan Gosling as Nova?
That would be perfect. Perfect casting is Ryan Gosling as Nova, but there's nothing been official.
It's weird with him. Like I didn't like him like before. I always knew he was a good actor, but like it wasn't like my thing. But then like after him in
I was forced to watch him in The Notebook.
Notebook isn't a terrible movie. It's just a chick.
I was still forced to watch it.
Blade Runner.
I
kind of knew, like, I was like, all right, like I really liked him in Blade Runner. Like that was a perfect character.
No, there was something before Blade Runner that I saw him in that he was real. It was really impressive.
La La Land.
No, I never saw that. That's the first time I've ever heard that movie. But another movie you may have heard of is this next story, because the sequel to Mortal Kombat reboot film is in the works, with Moon Knight writer attached to the project. Moon Knight lead writer Jeremy Slater has been tapped to write the script for Mortal Kombat 2. Slater has also been involved with the James Wan-produced adaptation of Stephen King's The Tommyknockers. It's the whole reason why I added this story in there, just so I could say that. And helped develop the graphic novel series The Umbrella Academy for Netflix. Outside of Slater's involvement, not much else is known about the greenlit Mortal Kombat 2 quite yet. Mortal Kombat was released simultaneously in theaters and on HBO Max April of 2021, raking in $22.5 million its opening weekend. Which, before No Way Home, that actually sounded pretty impressive in a pandemic.
Gotta start somewhere.
Good for you. 22 million. That's nice. But the amount of subscribers they got from releasing those movies same day, it really helped them and solidify themselves in this streaming market that we have. And then we got Mortal Kombat, which the reboot was good. It was awesome. It wasn't perfect, but it was good. Now we're getting the second one. Now, Moon Knight, we've seen the trailer for. We know this is going to be a good show. It's, Batman, but a little bit more off. So getting that writer behind this.
Enough to avoid a copyright claim.
Yeah, the way it should be. But getting that guy on Mortal Kombat to where he was already used to this kind of demented type of character into just a fucking brutal fist fight between demons and humans, that seems like the perfect kind of chemistry. Because we got enough of the fatalities in the first one that really made it awesome. Now, add in those other characters that we know and love. Really gripping, good story for, the Shadow Realm, but, Earth and Shadow Realm. Add all that in there in the second movie to really ring it home and bring in that Mortal Kombat feel, and you can continue this franchise for a long time, I feel.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, do you want to see them do the Mortal Kombat treatment to other fighting games? And if so, what game would you like them to see? My first knee-jerk reaction, Tekken. It's the same
Killer
thing,
Instinct.
but with, it's like Tekken is Mortal Kombat, but just Japanese.
That was Dead or Alive.
I was gonna say Dead or Alive.
But Killer Instinct. That
Killer
always gets
Instinct.
forgotten.
Yeah.
Primal Rage.
Ultra combo.
Here's the other one. You'll probably remember this one from the PlayStation era because it didn't get transition to 2. Bloody Roar.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Where you
that
fight, you gain ability, and then you turn into like an animal. Like that was your animal. Like there was werewolves. There was there was everything in there.
Platypus, go!
You also had Primal Rage. That'd be
Yes,
cool.
Primal Rage.
Street Fighter.
Remember the Clay Fighters? What was that?
Yeah, it was Clay Fighter. Yeah, Clay Fighter. Yeah, it was just that's what it was called.
Okay. Very uneventful.
The Super Nintendo one was Clay Fighter 33 1/3.
Okay. I'll allow it, I guess. With that kind of fighting game mentality, Mortal Kombat, yeah. What was the other one, man?
We had Street Fighter. The anime was good.
The live
The movies
action
were
with
not.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, though, man. There's a bit of 90s cheesy nostalgia that still makes that watchable and enjoyable.
Well, Raul Julia makes it watchable and enjoyable because he was battling cancer when he was doing that movie.
Mm. Wow, that's impressive.
And he hid it from everybody all the way up, until post-prod. And then he was
Bozeman style.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he hit it.
Wow. Okay. I mean, hey, man, to each their own. You keep that shit close to the vest. But I'd like to see some of the original actors or, from the reboot return on this. Don't do the old, original Mortal Kombat where we're just going to slide in this guy. Give me a good continuation for this because it inspired, like Sonic, that video game adaptations can be done right. A lot like in the end credits you'll find, if you watch the YouTube, I mentioned, what was it?
That's helpful.
The one video game, Dota, the Dragon's Blood, as being a really good anime video game adaptation. And same thing with The Witcher, the animated movie they did. Almost better than the fucking show, honestly. But I'm biased. I'm an anime fan.
Oda also just came out with a new one that's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, they did.
Arcane.
Yes, Arcane. I started watching that one. I didn't get enough through it. I didn't give it my 2 episodes.
First couple episodes, you got to really pay attention to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Now, the thing I was saying in the end credits, but I loved about Blood Dragon for Dota is that I never really played a lot of Dota, so I don't know the lore, and the anime itself was just very enjoyable. there's a lot of shit in there that just it gives the anime legs, and you're like, I can continue to watch this show, even if they cut a fucking season in half and make you wait like a year and a half or whatever the fuck it was. But still, I like that true game adaptation stuff when it comes out right. Like this next story, because we got a trailer for Halo, the TV show on Bob's Paramount Plus.
Hello.
Hello. So here we see a couple little glimpses of greatness, because the full trailer for Paramount Plus's Halo series has been revealed. New series based on the successful Halo video game series from Bungie and Xbox will star Pablo Schreiber as Master Chief, Jen Taylor as Cortana, Natasha Emon as Dr. Catherine Hasley, Bukeem Woodbine as Soren 066, and others that I'm not going to read. The Halo series is based on the video games, but will follow a new silver timeline, which is said to pull from existing Halo lore, history, canon, and characters, but won't be beholden to every event that's transpired throughout the games. This allows the show to exist independently of the game franchise while still following along with the bigger and smaller aspects that give the franchise its identity. The show's timeline will be very similar to the ultimately to the game, but will remain separate. And there will be surprises, differences, and twists that will run parallel but not identical to core canon. Full trailer for Halo series is dropped, and we see all the greatness here. How are you guys feeling about that description and how they are ultimately helming the show?
I think the show looks the trailer looks amazing. I'm just excited for it. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, but of course it makes anybody look good. So how do you feel about them treating this as its own baby and not trying to manuscript the game and make it verbatim like other people in the past have done?
You take the lore of the game. You just take the lore of the game, and you build a script that fits the narrative and pacing of a TV show. You can't take the narrative and pacing of a video game and make it a TV show. You have to build your own. You're gonna have to leave some stuff out. You're gonna have to put some stuff in, like just for the pacing.
It's not gonna be exactly the same.
Yeah.
But as long as the lore is there and it's constructed properly, I'm happy.
I mean, look at Tomb Raider.
It's the way.
Same thing.
It's the way that they phrased how they are doing it, and it's a silver timeline. They're pulling from lore, history, canon, and different characters. Even in the trailer, you see other Spartans. It was just Master Chief in the first game from the jump. You're the only fucker left. It wasn't until Reach, I believe, that we had a group of Spartans. Was it Reach or was it a different one?
I can't remember.
God damn my Swiss cheese memory. But we'll just go with that.
There was so many of them that it's kind of hard to remember which ones were.
It is, man. I want to say, no, Reach was the one where you went to that Covenant planet. I got it for Big Brother one Christmas. I don't remember. Then we'll just go with that. But
Reach was yeah, I remember now. Reach was the one when they introduced a new aliens and you were fighting with the what was it, the Covenant?
yeah.
You're fighting with them against an alien, and I didn't finish it, so I didn't care.
Okay. But it's another game that I'm thinking of. But they had a whole bunch of different ones. They're adding that into this show that you see from the trailer. From the jump, Master Chief, he's a Billy Badass. Master Chief we know and love.
Yeah.
But there's other soldiers just like him out there, which is a definite differentiation from the game that we know. But overall, it shows me a sign of good faith ultimately that, one, you're taking it seriously because you put enough attention to detail to put the correct markings on his battle armor to make the battle armor look exactly like the game, to make different things like the Covenant look exactly like you want them to look. They're putting a lot of attention to detail into this. It might actually sway me to actually get onto Bob's little streaming platform there and check out what's on there.
And like Chris said, like that's the thing is make all that detail of all of what you're saying, make the detail of the game, make sure it follows the lore, but it doesn't have to be exactly what happened throughout the show.
Yeah.
Or throughout the the gaming.
Yeah.
Storyline.
Yeah. I mean, that's the main thing is that we're all there for an interesting story at the end of the day. And with Halo, if you just have, this is the spreadsheet of all the toys you have to play with, that's a really good sandbox to play in if you're making a show. Especially
Yes, it
Spartans, Covenant, the Flood, the Rings, all of that is just sopping wet with seasons. You know, we're all about onions.
I can't wait for Uncharted. Like, speaking of movies,
Yeah, Uncharted, that's another one I'm really interested to see how they go because they're going with different kind of choices with their story as well, to where it's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe Sully doesn't have to have a mustache, although everybody prefers he does.
But I feel like Tom Holland is like perfect for that character.
Yeah, he is. He really is. Well, as a young Nathan Drake, we'll let him grow into the role.
Yeah.
He's
he
like
is growing. I mean, he is growing.
He is. I mean, but he also said that there was the one action scene in Uncharted was the most physically demanding that he has had to do yet. So
yeah, and he sucked it up and did it, and it's going to make him a stronger, better actor, and he'll because he does all his own shit, right?
Yeah. Well, he's also said
part,
recently, like, hey man, when the exit sign is up for Spider-Man, I will take that shit. So, there's that. He's ready for an out because I think any of the number of different movies that he's gotten really highlighted on since his time as Spider-Man, it's just lit a candle under his acting career, and a lot more people are looking at him. Like what Big Brother was saying last week with Idris Elba having a better chance of being the next James Bond because he puts butts in seats. That's why they go with those actors like Tom Holland, Idris Elba. You're going to go out to the theater to see this man.
Yep.
Yeah,
They're ready for it.
They're ready for a new Bond anyway.
If we could put it this way, it's A+ choice. Like our next story. Because if you have an event or catering need, you're going to want to go over to facebook.com/APLUS Tri-State. And that's where you're going to find A+ catering and events. My good friend A Little Boy is part of a growing company that is providing the most delicious delicatessens you could ever want to have at your next event. Do you want to be the talk of your next office, business, party, or event? Then you're going to want to hop on over to facebook.com/APLUS Tri-State. And they will serve the Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware area. Have your quote-unquote, as Luminous says, party today. Another party is going to be our next story because a certain anime is getting an open world game. And there's a trailer for the 7 Deadly Sins. It's getting an open world game. As my mouse is in the wrong place. There we go. A new game is in development based on 7 Deadly Sins, a.k.a. Natsu no Taizai. It'll be an open-world action RPG developed by Netmarble, the operators of Lineage 2. Its former title is The 7 Deadly Sins Origin, Korean gaming outlet Invin posted the announcement trailer on its YouTube channel. The trailer of the Seven Deadly Sins Origin shows off a large-scale, apparently seamless game world. Both above ground and underwater areas appear. Characters are shown engaging in combat against large monsters as a team. They also fight through variable weather conditions and at different times of the day. Other characters are seen gathering resources and using special abilities to glide through the air. One portion shows Meliodas summoning Deanne from a menu and aid in building a stone bridge. Meliodas then ascends the bridge and climbs up the rock wall, ending the trailer and expansive vista. How perfect is that timing? But the climbing scene, very Breath of the Wild. I love this style of open world anime, RPG, because you have a lot of legs here in the fact that the One Piece game they did had an open world. You were Luffy. You got to play around as the anime character. Doing this for Seven Deadly Sins, which was easily one of the most popular anime in recent history. When it came out, it just fucking blew up like wildfire because Netflix put it out, and it was one of their main hits when they started getting strong into the anime game that people really latched onto is Seven Deadly Sins, which Seven Mortal Sins, completely different show, not safe for work, but borderline hentai. But Seven Deadly Sins is a great premise for a game.
Tentacles.
Yes. Seven Deadly Sins Origin is related to Netmarvel's other Seven Deadly Sins games, Grand Cross. That game, which came out in 2020, is a more traditional turn-based RPG. Origin will feature a new original story and a new star protagonist, Tristan. The nature of the game world will allow the player to interact and control other characters from the series as well. Seven Deadly Sins Origin is in development for mobile platforms, PC, consoles. Netmarble did not specify a release date or targeted platforms. So, as far as anime goes, we know live action adaptation doesn't work well. But video game adaptation does work well. You see, like, Dragon Ball, Naruto. Naruto really had some impressive games with Ultimate Shonen Jump. Any of those games, 1 through 4, are fucking amazing to actually play through because of just the amazing talents on the teams that made those. Now, we also got, like, Jump Force, which broke the mold with a bunch of different anime characters in a fighting game.
The game was difficult but fun.
Oh yeah, I have it, and I haven't beat it, but I really did love Jump Force. I thought that was a very brilliant game, especially they took that injustice, or not really injustice, but that one thing that fighting games do that they'll just keep pumping out characters like Mortal Kombat, be like, hey, here's some more, and they just kept filling out the roster to where you're like, damn, no, man, this is actually a really impressive fucking roster. I want to fight it. I want to fight this motherfucker with that motherfucker. And it was very impressive. Almost like what they did with NetherRealms did with Injustice. They did that for anime. What anime do you want to see in that next kind of game? What would you want to see an anime really dominate? A first-person shooter? Sim? What kind of anime would you want to see? I would like to see My Hero Academia as an MMO.
I would like to see Invincible as an open world.
Well, that's animation, not anime, but I'll allow it. Like, I don't know, Death Note as a Telltale game would be very fucking entertaining. You got to write out the person's name, and then you see them die on the TV screen in your chip bag. That'd be cool. Callie, where are you siding on that? What kind of anime what kind of game would you like to see?
It's hard. I wasn't huge in too much anime, but I don't know. I mean, I already like Dragon Ball and the games.
You really like that last one that came out.
Oh, Kakarot? Yeah, it was fun.
Besides having to beat
Dragon Ball
everybody.
Fighter Z was really fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Besides having to beat every single character every single time you opened up a world, you had to beat everybody in the map just instantly fucking respawned again. It was a little bit annoying.
I don't know. A new anime I was just recently watching, it's good, but I don't really recommend it. Like I kind of stopped watching it because it got too weird. It was Elfen Lied, however you say it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
JoJo's Bizarre Adventures would be awesome because in that one, you have like a spirit. We'll call it a spirit animal for lack of better words, but it's a stand that gives you an ability. And this spirit animal gives you a special power. Like the one woman can send a string. And
maybe a new
can
One
connect
Piece
things.
game.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. With actual like Assassin's Creed, like sailing and going to different fucking islands. That would be fucking dope.
Mix it with that. Mix it like Assassin's Creed with Sea of Thieves kind of thing.
So Black Flag.
I loved Black Flag actually.
Just call it a spade,
really
man.
good.
It was a great game.
I think once I like got the game pretty much done, I just spent time fighting other ships.
Sea shanties.
Get me a Cowboy Bebop mercenary game.
Ooh. You could do. Oh man, dude, you could
you could do so much with it.
You could Star Citizen that shit, but actually finish it and be a bounty hunter just on the Bebop, finish it, flying through space.
Well, if the developers were smart, they can release it in chapters and still like say, hey, you pay $60 and we'll give you 8 chapters. But
as soon as you finish one part of the Bebop game in the chapter, it'll say, see you soon, Space Cowboy.
Yep. Just release it like that.
That'd be so dope, man. I love that idea. That's great. We're just coming up with a bunch of them. Somebody else had an idea. That's Crisis 4 is coming. Crytek confirms. So Crisis obviously has always been the main staple of is this PC good? Crytek, the developer, has confirmed that the next game in the sci-fi first-person shooter franchise is in early stages of development. So it'll be a while. But Evgeny Yerlin, CEO of Crytek, Google it.
Stop trying.
I don't know. It's the Triforce. I have to try. It's the name of the fucking show. It's right there. There. Sorry, wrong way.
Anything with accents and syllables, just stop.
Crytek released.
You do realize it would not be an episode without him fucking up.
Yeah, I know. Without him, doing that. Yes.
Thank you. So, Crytek released a brief teaser trailer. Big Brother usually finds teaser trailers stupid. Alongside its announcement.
What is this? Don't tell me shit.
It's a teaser. It's like saying that free sample at Costco didn't fill you.
That's not what it's for. It's there to
exactly.
No, but I can tell what it is I'm getting because they put.
All right, that's a fair
thing
assessment.
in it, and I can I get nothing from this. This is just like they're just showing you the bag. Look, it's got
nothing
a 4
on here.
on it. So
it's like eating a rice patty. Little Rice Crisp patties. You don't get anything from it. Or eating a salad. There's nothing there. So there's nothing actually from the teaser trailer, but the promise is still more than what we have gotten from Valve and Half-Life. So, Germany-based game developer called the next Crisis a true next-gen shooter. And it sounds like Crytek will directly involve its player base in the direction of Crisis 4. Crytek has a proud history of working with our community to develop the games you want to play. Crysis is incredibly important to so many people. It's beloved by gamers everywhere, and some of those working in the industry today are doing so because of the original game. So we want to make a game.
I can see Kelly's really enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that the next installment of the franchise lives up to all of your expectations. Make sure to join our socials and get involved. Vote! They want you to be involved. So, Crysis.
Can we talk? We just want to talk. We don't talk anymore. Can we talk? All right, Crytek. Are you gonna make Crysis 4? No, I'm gonna go.
You just don't play with me like you used to.
Your PC won't be able to run it.
It would not be Crysis if your PC couldn't run it. But there is that kind of expectation.
Imagine how many people have seizures while playing that game. From all the blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I
that's
played
just for pressing the power button on their PC.
like I played.
You try to play the game, it just says you are dead.
I played a little bit of Crysis 3. Never really got into it, but I just knew Crysis as this benchmark kind of game.
It's where the origins of brain aneurysms came from. Trying to play that game.
The more you know. But it's nice to see.
I feel like a Crysis should have a medical disclaimer.
I mean, some of them do, man.
I was gonna say a lot of games do.
A lot, now especially a lot of them do.
Mm-hmm.
Too many lawsuits. My son died from your game. What?
That's because he was playing for 64 hours.
Dear Mrs. Johnson.
I believe you need to, you can't stay up for 60. You need to sleep.
What game was he playing? Ninja Gaiden. I would kill myself too.
Dear Mrs.
Demon
Johnson,
Souls.
poor parenting is not an excuse. Goodbye. But there's another bit of poor parenting. And that was the original people who were running this company. But our next story has hope because Sony buys Bungie for $3.6 billion. And no, it is not a response to Microsoft's purchase because, of course, it's not going to Walmart. A corporate purchase takes a long time. There's a lot of people involved.
I want to interrupt you. A friend of mine is watching on Twitch, and he wanted me to tell you that his manga that he was talking about changing in the game would be Initial D.
Yes! My spirit animal, motherfucker. Initial D would be amazing.
It's the same guy who sent us a message. He's trying to watch it on Facebook, but it won't let him.
Fucking corporate.
I'm moderating on Twitch. You can just type it in there. No,
mother fucking Zuckerberg. But GameIndustry.biz reports the following deal: Bungie will be run as an independent subsidiary of SIE.
GameIndustry.com. Had to settle with Biz.
So it'll remain a multi-platform studio with the option to self-publish and reach players where they choose to play. Which I've heard online that, how do you guys see these purchases? I mean, is there allowed to be an independent fucking game studio anymore?
No.
Or as soon as you get popular, you just get bought up because Bill Gates made that shit fucking popular?
It's the way the world works.
Sorry, I missed the beginning of this. Is this the Microsoft deal?
Yeah. No, Sony.
Sony
bought Bungie
last week. Sony's this week.
And it's not in response to each other. But how are you feeling about it, Kelly? Like, is there allowed to be an independent company?
I had the same thing with it's bullshit because then it becomes a monopoly and there's no way to beat, there's no way to compete. Just like when Comcast
well, no, technically the gaming industry would be kind of an oligarchy, really.
Yeah. There you go.
So my
my
thought on this is that there comes a point. We already know the hardware doesn't make anything from these companies. Like that is just like the device to play through. Whether your PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch. At a certain point, the gaming industry is starting to learn that
NFTs.
companies can commingle and have the same customers. No one really loses or wins.
Nobody said they couldn't.
Yeah, no,
They just assumed that
always,
shit for themselves.
But you have fan bases that are like Team PS4 or Team PS5 or Team Xbox or PC Master Race. Like, it doesn't matter.
You're talking about
At
Twitter.
that point,
You're talking about Twitter.
well, that's a dumpster fire in itself. Let's just call that what it is. But we're at a point with the technology. Like, if you're a gamer, you're probably shooting to have all systems. Like, I don't care. Like, I have all systems. But these companies can commingle, and with the advent of the streaming subscription, downloadable games on both platforms, they can share their content across, and there could be a pooling of money where they both win.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my thought.
I mean, I see both sides. I see the worry of Kelly with the oligarchy and not enough creative thought. Because that's one of the things you get from a small business is the creative juices, giggity, of having that original idea and not having a lot of, management over top forming your idea to fit into a box. You have more of a free roam to express yourself. To whereas with this merger and being accepted into Sony, you have a lot more capital, so you have a lot more opportunity to physically make the game you want to.
I just feel every game then becomes the same kind of game. Like the graphics, everything's going to be.
It's all about graphics. It's all about this isn't what they're doing. You need to do more what they're doing because that's what sells.
Look, this is trendy. We got to do that. You have to add it in your game. You have to add crafting.
Yeah.
But it's not that type of game. It's a city builder. I don't care. Make him.
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Like every game becomes the same. Like it all becomes the same game with a different title and a different story.
Yeah.
You got to craft each individual block of sidewalk, and each of that is 4 cement, and that is 1 gold piece, which you could buy in our store.
Exactly. That's the other part that I was going to say. I was trying to fix something. Is that all these game companies, like the big ones, are in-game store where you have to spend real money to get the good skins or the
problem with that is the infinite growth potential model for a business. If you say, well, I made this much money last year, I didn't make this much money, I lost money. No, you just didn't make that much. If you have a company which that is their basis for operating, it's almost toxic because you're just looking at what have you done for me lately?
Correct.
Not what
It's
are
not
you
about,
producing?
It's not about numbers all the time.
So you're saying they're all like Eagles fans?
Yes.
Us Eagles fans.
Yes.
Well, that's just true masochism. We bleed that color.
All they have here is Halo and.
So here's the other thing. All right.
Destiny.
So
How
to
is it?
chain off your point there, Matt.
Yeah.
That whole numbers crunch thing
Mm-hmm.
creates the toxic environment that produced the Activision Blizzard deal.
And it also it produced that toxic work environment of the crunch time. You
Correct.
need to have this out because we got to make money and I got a yacht to pay for, Junior.
Whereas again, with now Phil Spencer with Xbox, he's a forward thinker, and he has vowed to kind of clean up that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see that as the new bearing standard of we reduce the crunch time.
But here's the thing with Sony, if I'm playing devil's advocate with that, is that the Japanese traditionally already have honor in their system because it's baked into their society. You are naturally supposed to be an honorable person. If you don't, old school style, but still popular. But
Yeah.
that's the thing of if it's not good, if it's not right, then you fix it and you make it right because it's our society that we have to build each other up. They have a different viewpoint, which that's not even if I'm looking at Bungie and how they have had toxic reports of work environment as well, not just Activision Blizzard. It was Bungie as well that came out with that stuff like that. So going into both of these bigger corporate cultures, it's only going to refine that company. Even though they're going to be hey, you can operate by yourself. By the way, you're still tied to Sony. So you still got our name. You have to act the way we want you to.
So Dr. Swagmaster says SEC is trying to block the Microsoft deal. I responded to him saying that the government's just trying to get their cut. He says this is true, but it will be an uphill battle. Same with the Sony deal. So
exactly,
depends on what their lobbyists.
There's different.
How much money can I have?
Exactly. There's different loopholes they're going to have to jump through, but they have enough cash. It'll probably go through. People were also throwing out that little seed of doubt when Disney was trying to buy Marvel and Fox and all these big, you haven't got, government hasn't had their say. They'll get their money. They'll be fine.
The government does.
Yeah, they got to be involved. This is what they're there for.
They're the government. They're making sure everything's fair for everyone.
So
no. You can't own every media
taxes.
And also, Dr. Swagmaster, awesome name, sir.
420.
Ultimate Walljanger of the week. Just because of your name.
Kowalski, hey.
I appreciate a good name. Like our next story.
It better have a goddamn good name, Matt.
Unseen Star Wars 1313 footage surfaces. Is that good enough for you, sir?
Yeah, it's all right. I'll take
The crash in the background was enough of a mic drop. So, Star Wars 1313 was revealed at E3 2012. If you can believe it, we should have had this game, played it, beat it 75 times, and have it on our fridge. And it quickly got attention of both Star Wars fans and the greater gaming community in general. The initial presentation showed an action-heavy third-person shooter akin to Uncharted series set in the Star Wars universe. Explored the darkest areas of level 1313 on the planet Coruscant. Unfortunately, the acquisition of Star Wars by Disney led Lucasfilms to eventually caught up to the game's development, and LucasArts, the studio being closed, had to cancel the game as well. There were rumors on and off of the game's survival, but for intent and purposes, Star Wars 1313, the game died with LucasArts closure. The new footage of 1313 shows off an extended sequence of Boba Fett gameplay as he pursues a target through Coruscant's underbelly. The footage starts with a jetpack-less Boba Fett walking through a crowded bar where he eventually is noticed by his bounty who takes off on foot. Next sequence, Boba Fett and his partner chase after the target through a variety of untextured environments, with the player performing a variety of parkour moves like leaping up or over obstacles, because that's revolutionary. This 3-minute clip was released for Vault Project's 6th anniversary, a group centered primarily on researching Star Wars Battlefront 3. So this is not the first time Star Wars 1313 material has leaked since the game's cancellation. In 2020, many screenshots of 1313 leaks were depicted environments very similar to what was shown in this unfinished gameplay reel, as well as close-ups of Boba Fett and his partner. Boba Fett has had a handful of Star Wars appearances since the game's cancellation, having a couple of arcs in the Star Wars Clone Wars and being a playable hero in EA's Star Wars Battlefront games. Players look for a third-person action-adventure kick for that 1313 has provided. Should check out Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order. because, of course, that was a great game. It was one of those games that it really kind of scratched that itch, and I'm glad that we're getting all these Star Wars games in the future. The one we didn't talk about, like they announced the 3 last week, but Eclipse, the Telltale-like High Republic Star Wars game told by Quantum Dream, of all those amazing games, Beyond Human and all that. Like, we're getting some serious Star Wars content to where we really all of us nerds collectively got excited for 1313. And it was one of those games to where you're like, my initial knee-jerk reaction, which is why I know it was good, was like, who's going to play a fucking bounty hunter game? There's lots of games like that. And now, Book of Boba Fett is a very popular show. So, one of those things, man, it kind of had me thinking of, different possibilities and stuff like that. And the different games that we have not seen, like there were a bunch of games, like the Daredevil game we talked about a while ago, games that got canceled. Great premise. Probably would have been amazing at the time if they just went through with it, or shitty, and we would have been shitting on them for it. But that's not the point. The point is that, there's a lot of games like that. But going the opposite way, there's not a lot of games going to other media, which is, of course, as we are at the end of the show, my end segment. I had a good thought for an end segment, which was, as we go over back to the main page there, big brother. My thought for an end segment was, what game would you want to see transform into different media? Not necessarily, not like video, movies and TV shows, but the other media, like print media, like novels, comics, audio dramas, the audio podcast. What video game, and I'll say this again after Kelly puts his earphones back on, is, Kelly, what video game would you like to see transferred into a different media, but not TV, movies, like comics, novels, audio dramas? Like, what video game would you like to see that world transported into that medium? Because there's a lot of like Star Wars novels and comics and other stuff like that, the big names, Star Trek and all that. What video game, though, would you really like to see the lore expanded upon to where, like, Assassin's Creed tiptoed in comics, and they started releasing different kind of like assassins and like other Russian assassin and stuff like that, to where they really fleshed out a lot of the lore in comic version. And there is a good popularity in stuff like that. So, old style, new style, what game?
I just got back. You gotta give me a second to think of that.
Old man.
I mean, I know we have a Mass Effect anime and cartoon series. Bioshock would be a good one.
Oh yeah, Bioshock.
Like the rise of Andrew Ryan. That would be good.
The Rise of Andrew Ryan as an audio drama, I think, would be fantastic.
Yeah, that medium,
because that seems like that old timey radio vibe.
That would be a good like horror audiobook.
Yeah,
like survival horror audiobook. That definitely for that.
The comic, bring me to like Colombia or the next game where they're going, probably the moon or whatever. Like, bring me to that new city and expand after you drop the trailer of like, hey, we're going here. Then you announce we're going to have a comic.
I have another one for you
to this world. I think would be great.
Fear.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember Fear for the 360? And
you took one that I was going to say. There was two I was going to say. One was going to be Fear. I fucking loved that game. It was actually creepy. It was actually scary.
It was.
That was, dude, nothing. That was wasn't that one of the first games that they had the type of when you like say you shot a nail gun at somebody and they actually stuck to the wall. It was one of the first games that did that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the AI in that game was actually smart. Like that was.
Mm-hmm.
And
that
then I have one more.
Hold
Okay.
on, let me say mine because I don't want you to steal it.
I'm not gonna lie, you have been interrupting him a bunch.
This is going to be.
I'm the guy to do that.
This is going to be an unpopular one. I know that I'm going to get some shit for it.
Blue's Clues.
Yes.
I'm sorry, man. I had to steal it again. You know what? Pick
we
a
were just
different
watching
one.
that earlier. So
Just
it's
pick a
all good.
different one.
So I was one of the few that really did love playing No Man's Sky. But that game is so.
No kink shaming.
I put a lot of hours into that as well, I'll admit.
But there was. Did you really have any clue what the hell was going on?
Yeah, I just sort of walked around and zapped shit.
Wouldn't it be cool to find out an actual story of that?
Huh.
Just, mile wide, inch deep. Don't look too much into it.
Yeah, but if you focus on the little tadpoles in the pond, that might be an interesting story.
I'm trying to read what Kowalski said, or Dr. Spymaster. I can't read it though.
He said Left 4 Dead.
Ooh.
They change up for The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Left 4 Dead.
So,
All right.
so
That's
here-
just an
here's-
easy formula to master, though, is the Left 4 Dead, because they already did it. To where if we're going places, not really explored, give me Metroid.
How about
we could do that.
Give me Metroid, man. Show me she's a fucking bounty hunter. Bounty hunt, bitch. Look at Boba Fett that shit.
I got one. I got a good one.
The Brady
Now,
Bunch.
My favorite video game franchise of all time. I know they tried, but they're not allowed to. No one will ever be allowed to, which is bullshit.
Leisure
it's
Suit
Zelda.
Larry.
Yeah. Legend
I'm
of
going to
Zelda
blow
would
your
be
fucking
great.
mind right now. You ready for this? Siphon Filter.
Oh,
Oh.
nothing's better than
Say it
having a guy on the top of
slow.
a building
Say it
and
slow.
shooting him with a taser until he catches on fire.
Yeah.
and then to kind of carry off of that, I mean, of course, I would love to see Splinter Cell. Of course, I would love to see Red Faction. So,
Well, Splinter Cell was a book. I mean, that's Tom Clancy.
That's where
It
it,
was a
came
book.
from.
How about Bioshock?
we said that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Thanks for
How
joining.
about-
Thanks for joining the
about-
show.
How about one more? It's a genre though. It's not an actual game. Any like PUBG, like any kind of. Well, they kind of do already have movies like that, but any
Or
last
called
person standing
action.
survival battle royale game has to have it's never a story behind it except Call of
Yeah.
Duty. But
I mean,
Yeah.
they did that, but it was just one life. It was called Saul. I'm just saying.
or that movie with John Leguizamo where he's being chased,
John Leguizamo?
whatever. how
God,
I'm
like
saying.
was on.
Yeah,
The
where-
guy who gives me the most shit for saying names doesn't remember Luigi's name.
He's hilarious.
I got one.
But he did have a movie where he was on an island being hunted. It was
Yeah,
actually
who
a pretty
doesn't?
funny movie.
Big brother, what's yours?
How about Manhunt?
Ooh.
Make a movie
Isn't
with
that,
that?
isn't that what I just said? Though, isn't that the same thing?
No, it's Manhunt. Manhunt's different.
It's
He'll
different.
be able to kill somebody with a pencil and a plastic bag.
You
Like
start
MacGyver.
with like the first weapon they give you is like a plastic bag.
Dude,
There you
literally, Manhunt
go.
is MacGyver if he was a fucking serial killer. I just put that together right now. I'm today years old when I realized that.
8 years old.
What about speaking of Dr. Swagmaster's zombie, not Left 4 Dead, but what's the Dead Rising?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, that's called Night of the Living. No, not Night of the Living. That's called where they're in the mall.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay. Well, disappointments all around.
All right, I come back one fucking day.
You get the trumpet.
How about Mars Attacks?
Ooh.
That's the name of the game with the.
No.
The whole radio
Mars
station, so to
Attacks?
speak.
No,
Gak.
no, not Mars Attacks. That was the movie.
Yeah,
the,
that was the movie I'm thinking of.
The video.
game.
Destroy All Humans.
Defense
Destroy.
Force
Yeah, that's
or Destroy All Humans.
Destroy All Humans.
It's pretty much Mars Attacks.
Dude, all I'm saying is Destroy All Humans as an audio drama would be like when War of Worlds aired on the radio and everybody thought like the world was ending. We're America. We're dumb. They would believe that shit. All right? I just heard an audio drama. We're fucked.
Castlevania.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some deep lore into that. Give me like a good comic of Castlevania. That'll be a nice run. That'll be a nice run. You can go through the whole fucking Belmonts on that.
Yeah.
Because that's a nice...
You could.
That's a good bit of lore and mythos that you could... Just like the anime alluded to, you could actually expand on all those ancient Belmonts and how they filled up that fucking library.
Or Pac-Man.
I was thinking, and I'm surprised you haven't thought of this, Elder Scrolls.
There's
You're
a
muted,
lot of
Kelly.
Stuff.
There's a lot
I
of
have,
stuff in there,
books
but,
and,
you know, like a comic of Elder Scrolls, I would really love. Audio drama? Give me
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay.
That game scared the shit
Dead
out of me.
Space.
Yeah.
Dead Space would be great. That'd be great.
As an audio one, yeah. As an audio comic.
As an audio drama, Dead Space, because you could have a lot of that eerie music, which would really key into a lot of the scare factor that they had into that game. I think that would be a really good one.
Fallout for an audio would be really good.
Yeah.
Because
It would.
you could almost do it like a like you were living in that, you know, at that time.
Well,
you
it's
know,
just like
during
those
that-
holotapes.
With the air horn sirens and everything.
Yeah.
Dr. Swagmaster 420 says Kingdom Hearts.
Ooh.
Yeah. Expensive.
That's that's an expensive one.
The
Getting
mouse
the rights
doesn't
to do that
normally
would be
play nice.
you'd have a lot of licenses to get for that one.
I forget the most expensive.
You could dive it through Marvel. So
That would be like I forget the song, but there's a song that if you want to put it in a movie, it's like the most
Lamb chop sing along. What?
it's like the most expensive song to put in a fucking movie. And like Kevin
Happy
Smith,
birthday.
he just had it as like a placeholder, and when he was doing a screening for one of his movies, and they're like, "You're putting that song in there?" And he was like, "Oh, no, I can't afford that, no." But that's along the lines of that I saw. But let us know your choice for an alternate.
Apparently, it's Thunderstruck.
yeah, it is.
Thunder.
Although you can't hear AC/DC without thinking of Iron Man.
I can. I knew AC/DC at first. Just saying.
That scene in the original Iron Man. I was going off the iconic.
Michael Jackson's Scream is apparently super expensive. Satisfaction, Can't Touch Us by MC Hammer.
Well, blankets gotta pay.
You know
for
what?
blankets.
That's actually very accurate. That it's very expensive because
he
you literally
gets
can't
sued
touch
like
this.
crazy, like he did.
Yeah, you literally can't touch this. It's so expensive. it's on
I
the.
like that one. That was your best joke I've heard you say in a long time.
Thank you. That's top shelf liquor. You know.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
can't touch that. You're not going to be able to afford that whiskey.
Stop.
Don't reach
good.
that high. No.
You're good.
You're good. No, right there. Kill Younglings. Stay there. But let us know your choice for this end segment right below by commenting. Hit that button right there and start typing away. And contact the team right here. Let us know if you have a Luggy and Nutty card. Do you have a podcast or maybe you want to be a guest? I don't know. It's happened before. Contact the team. Let us know. And find us on all social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok, of course, where you will find the very funniest chocolate brownie or hairy donut TikTok there.
Totally.
And, of course, this
Code
is...
word is justice.
Yeah, justice.
Yeah. When we get our online store up, that'll be the promo code. Promo code justice.
Don't forget broccoli night
On Tuesdays.
over at the Hairy Donut. Having broccoli night.
As usual, this has been a long.
Thank you, Kelly, because this has been a long drawn out goodbye. I am your host, Matthew Bucarell, the Batman, and in the projector box we have one Christopher Bristow, the old man, as well as our Iron Kelly Cowan. our omnipotent producer that is Big Brother Stephen Bucarell, as well as our mascot, Hero Time. Where is that little fucker? Hero of Time, Link Diablo, who is off doing God knows what else, sleeping. Sleeping on the fucking job, man? Ah, well.
You're the one.
Until next week, we love you. We miss you.